Okay.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. You're going to have to help me. I'm really bad with.
No, you're not. Really bad with what?
With explaining things.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
I'm trying to put my Barbie avatar up here.
Oh, the coffee is so good. Stellar, that's for you. Oh, God.
That doesn't work.
What?
My avatar. I need to work on it.
The link is for you, Stellar. Let's get them up. I want that Colt up here. People are in here, 20 so far. Tyler Burton. First time watching live, but I've been playing catch up on Viva since first watching. Where's Brian?
I don't know.
We tag him. Oh, people can hear us right now. Hello. We're live.
Hi.
Okay, Stellar, that link is for you. I keep thinking we're not live. Stellar, the link I put in the chat is for you. Hi, Sinister. Lola, Tyler. I'm sitting here talking to you like I'm not live, and I'm live. Is Stellar still here? Hello, Bella. Just gonna have a little discussion and find out things. Do you see him in the chat? I don't see him. Hey, Jens, Bella.
Hey, everyone. That was loud. That was loud.
Yeah, what are you playing, by the way?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I got nothing open.
Okay. Well, I saw him when I first came. When I first came in here, I saw him. We're going to wait.
Nene, see Legend Deluxe.
We are going to wait for Stellar to get up here. There he is. Oh, great. Stellar, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Stellar.
Nice to have you.
Good to be here. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Yes, can absolutely hear you. So, I'm wondering about how one person can fool an entire community into believing them. And I know you've got some experience with this. And I'm one of those, I guess you describe it as willfully ignorant people. Until I saw your video explaining things point by point by point, I didn't believe a certain person was, what everybody warned me about. And I'm just wondering how we as adults can be so easily fooled. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm across.
Well, I think so. I'll give it a shot. I wouldn't use willfully ignorant regarding you at all. I think I might have mentioned the term or the expression, we only know what we know when we know it. And that's really true. A lot of people are playing catch up. A lot of people, we absorb information differently. Hey, if I said like, hey, Carla, did you hear about what happened on Molly's stream yesterday? Mm-hmm. And then you might say, well, no, because I was plowing the North 40, right? or you were busy, right? You're doing something. Mm-hmm. So we learn about things when we learn about them. Mm-hmm. Some arrive late to the game, and I've done that myself. We all, our turn will come, and we'll be the last one to know. I came into this stream a little while ago over there at Molly's, and I missed the first couple of hours, I guess, at least. So I'm not sure. I have to catch up. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to situations like you're talking about, That was over a year ago. In fact, you know what's funny, Carla, because I remember putting out a very important video on April 1st. Now we're almost at March 1st. We're getting real close. So that's 11 months ago.
Mhm.
And I remember pointing you in that direction, and then you did, and you typed in comments, and I think I commented back. And that was, I think, your first chance. That was back in April. In
Yes.
fact, it might have been, a week. Well, I don't know
You
how long
just
after
asked
that.
me, and you were very polite about it, and you said, I just want you to go to that video and watch it and decide for yourself. You didn't, you know, try to point me in any direction. And I watched it, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how could I be so stupid? I really did like that person. I
Well, of
thought
course.
personable. But I mean, people now are coming back a year later and saying you supported him. Really did not support that. And I don't support Diane either, because they say I'm a hypocrite because now I'm on the opposite side where they are bringing up videos where Tucker was on my panel. Well, I really believed what he told me, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people probably still now believe what Diane's saying. I don't happen to be one of them. But you know, for myself, I just wonder how, you know, what we can do to protect ourselves from that.
Right.
And how you yourself just, you know, took it upon yourself to find out everything. Was it hard? I mean, I know that Tucker was your friend, so I guess when it's your friend, it's harder. So that's
well, yeah, I'm happy to answer that. I just wanted to maybe kind of also say, you know, we're all different. I have found myself only 1 year now. I've been involved with drama community about 1 year. So I've had people say to me, Carla, what people have said to you, Stellar, how can you be supporting this cause, but you're neglecting this? I go, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you're on so-and-so's panel, and don't you know what they've done? And I go, actually, I don't. Fill me in.
Mhm.
So, you know, we catch up. We're playing catch up. The other thing about just human nature is that we oftentimes, I like the old saying that, you know, we don't really know people or circumstances as they truly are. We really don't, but we do know them as we are. What I mean by that is, you know, we come to things like I'm right here now, and Carla and Misdemeanor. I don't know you folks very well, but so I have an immediate impression. It seems very friendly, seems safe, but that's not much to go on. And the same for you with me, or when you had someone else on panel. We start where we start. We see things through our lens of oftentimes biases. Like I come on with my viewpoints, and it colors my perception. I might, so, you know, I see you folks as I am. If I'm in a bad mood, I'm probably going to look at you guys a little bit cranky and impatiently. And, you know, I'm going to have to be honest about that. A lot of times, the way I am affects how I see who you are. So if we just took that into account, sometimes we're going to see people entirely differently if we're having a great day, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the first comment. I think it's really important for us to check in with ourselves. There are also, well, you had mentioned willfully ignorant. There's also people morally shaky on shaky ground.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a whole lot of circumstances that, you know, will affect how we view each other and view life and view a circumstance. You know, it takes time. I'll give you an example. When the news first broke about my friend Tucker, that was in January of 2020. So it was a little over a year ago. And I sent in 2 receipts he gave me to have them verified, because I was going to hold those up and put it in someone's face and say, "Stop, leave this guy alone."
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't do anything. I have complete confidence, total. And then to my shock, I found out different. One of them was there and one of them wasn't. So we were looking for missing money, and from there things went downhill. But see, I didn't know that.
Right.
We only know what we know when we know it.
But at that same time, were people telling you this guy is what he is? I mean, he's shady. He's taken things. This is not adding up, and you were defending him.
Yeah, well, there was a few people. I probably want to be discreet and not mention who they were.
Right. Right.
Although maybe they wouldn't mind because, in fact, as it turns out, they were correct. But there was, I'd say, 2 or 3 people who were pretty vocal about saying, I had no reason to believe that because I hadn't seen it.
Right.
But others had suspicions. And so I thought, well, let's look into this. And so they ran their own investigation over Christmas. And early in January, I got the results back. And I think what we do is I always say, I go to this all the time. Our only true friends in life is the truth and those who stand with the truth.
Right.
I stood with that individual until I learned that the truth was different.
Right.
And then that changed. But I want to tell you this was quite a deal. When that news broke I went on Randy's panel in early February. And, I was in the minority. There was a lot of people going, wait a minute. Because
Right.
no, he's a good guy, all this. And, I enjoyed him myself. That's what I was saying. One woman said in the drama community, says, Tucker, you ought to knock his teeth down his throat. And I thought, okay, and stuff like that. And then 4 months later, I talked to that same person. I don't think they remembered what they said. But what I want to tell you is I think it takes months, sometimes years, for us to readjust our thinking emotionally and intellectually, because we have an image of someone and we're not going to readily let go of that. And I think that's what's going on with Diane. I think there are people that are very close and it takes time. And then eventually people go, oh my goodness. And they open their minds little by little and the emotions follow. But I think that's a normal human reaction. That's why parents will be the last one to say my son or daughter committed a crime. They've got so much invested, they can't see it. But friendship, love, all those commitment, they all block objectivity.
Right.
So, yeah.
Past experiences.
And do you think that's happening now in this, with what's happening now? Is it the same kind of, is it, because I feel really bad about believing, last year, believing that person and ignoring what was put in front of me. But until I went to your video, and really watched it and listened to it, then I felt stupid. But
you shouldn't feel stupid at all because you didn't know. You just didn't know.
Well, there were people saying things, but I've always been the type of person that I'm going to get to know you for you. I'm going to meet you face on, and just where you are, get to know you. And if at some point someone can show me convincing evidence that, yes, you are what they say you are, then it's a game changer. But up until then, I'm not just going to readily believe someone on the internet telling me that you're a horrible individual. I don't think that's fair.
Right.
And we hear all the time in this community, just tell the truth and we'll forgive you, or, give people a chance, or don't believe everything you hear. You hear all of those things and you try to live by that code. And then when you do, the next thing you know, because someone doesn't like you, hey, Ben, not because of you, saying this is a road I'm going to take. When I see evidence otherwise, then I'll change my direction. It's only because they don't like you that they say, oh, you supported this person. It wasn't a support. It was an invitation on a panel to have a discussion. If that's supporting someone, then maybe I'm missing something. There was no, back in a channel or getting people to sub to them or whatever. Okay. Throwing them a parade. I don't know.
And I know you're saying like we have to protect the community, but okay, when random trolls come into your life that you've never seen before, you've never laid eyes on them, and they start, saying things, how do you know what to believe? And I'm telling you how I found out the truth was going to your channel, and you came in very politely and said, I just want to direct you to this video. And I went to that video and I listened. It was quite a long video.
It was.
About the RCMP, and it laid it out where I could understand. And I went to misdemeanor, and I said, well, this, we need to, you need to go watch this. Yeah.
Mhm.
We need to back away from this person. So,
But
Well-
what are some of those signs that did you ever have an inkling in either case that, wait a minute, something's not right? And what were those red flags for you?
Yeah, well, cold hard evidence. When St. Jude came back and said one of the two receipts is not found in our system, that was the one for $7,050. I thought, wait a minute, but I wasn't convinced immediately. I went back to him and I said, "Hey, we got a little problem here. One came through and one did not. Perhaps we can look for another receipt. What did you show me? Is that correct?" It was one that was shown publicly in front of hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that became a very long, arduous process, in which over the better part of a month, in which really got nowhere. But you were asking what are some of the signs, which I obviously didn't detect. But I'm seeing them in the present scandal. Have you guys heard of an expression called a dark triad? Have you heard of that? I bet you have.
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
Okay, if you were to Google dark triad, I should type it in beside that. TRIAD, the three, the dark three. That's something that con artists share in common pretty much. One of them is lack of empathy. So if you pay attention to certain individuals whose brains work differently than ours, I guess, you don't see a lot of emotion where you think you should. Like right now, is there an expressed empathy for the children at St. Jude, or are we simply circling the wagons, protecting ourselves? So if there is a lack of empathy in behavior and in speech, where you see kind of a coldness, that's one thing. Another one is obviously, we talk about it a lot, that's narcissism, don't we?
Yeah,
Right.
Stellar, wouldn't you say that a prereq? Oh, hi, Stellar. You
Hi,
I'm Brian.
who's that? Oh, Brian? Brian.
Yeah, I was going to say, wouldn't a prereq to that be narcissism? With the lack,
Yeah, that's
the lack of remorse, the placing blame on others, no empathy whatsoever. Then we're seeing.
Okay, so what we're seeing now is them deflecting on me and expressing the fact that I had Tucker on my panel last year. Now that's deflection to last year.
Well, and also that
And
comes.
saying she's a hypocrite because look what she did last year.
Well, we consider the source on that as well.
Well, I know.
Carla, are you hearing that from Diane?
No.
No, but I'm seeing it a lot.
Okay.
I'm hearing it from people and saying that I'm a hypocrite. I have no right, really have no right to have an opinion about Diane since.
Stellar, it came from Dave the Fisherman.
Oh,
And some others.
Well, say no
Yeah.
more.
Hey,
Say no
tacos.
more.
And when he was corrected on that, he became really angry.
Hey, tacos.
So the
Well,
deflection, but the deflection with Diane is apparent too on other people.
yeah.
But the narcissism is like, if you could point some things out, I mean,
Yes.
Right.
that would
Well,
be
I
red
mean,
flags.
Entitlement.
Thank you,
you know,
Tiff.
It's my money.
A person
Yeah.
who, and entitled in many ways. These are my super chats.
I don't have to
This
show
is
you
my
anything.
channel.
Yeah.
I don't have to show you anything, right?
Thank you, Tiffany.
In addition to that, I think they have a very high opinion of themselves.
Right.
Does that ring a bell?
Right.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
Everybody's
So-
stupid except for her.
Well, you can't ignore that, can you? So,
Well, she had someone on her panel yesterday threatening to call
Hey,
my
Shannon.
husband.
oh boy.
Well, that's no big deal because he knows what I do. So, I mean, I don't know if that was supposed to be a threat to me because I'm speaking out. I don't know what it was supposed to be. But
Well, Carla,
Other
I'm glad you said that. I didn't mean to interrupt. You said something that is actually the third part of that triad, that dark triad.
Threats.
They call it Machiavellianism. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, he was an Italian philosopher, and he said the end justifies the means. Doesn't matter what the means are, But it's manipulation oftentimes when you try to, for people who lack a moral code, like narcissists and those who have little or no empathy, that they tend to try to manipulate you or me or anyone or a community even in any way they can. So you're going to be what you just described is probably a very good example of that. I had it was yesterday. I gave a super chat, and said person, somebody took a screenshot of it, and then it was plastered on her community page.
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like here's this guy. I think she said the pillar of the community, which I'm not. I say I'm the floorboard of this. I'm part of the subfloor. I'm not.
People are intimidated by your intelligence and the way that you speak calmly. They're intimidated by that. So that's why you get picked at. You'll get picked at for that.
So
But
the triad.
Yeah, the triad. Yeah, a lack of empathy, narcissism, and this Machiavellianism, which is basically just people who manipulate. And I think that's what Carla was just describing. And really, if anyone thinks I'm going to get manipulated by somebody taking a screenshot of me doing a super chat, think again. And the other thing I do, I just tell people, look, I'm as human as anybody else. I'm nobody special.
He just wants to see his name lit up so everybody sees him. So why did everybody else?
Well, okay. So, and today it's been said that they're going real life and people are being swatted. I mean, what are we supposed to, here's another thing. What are we supposed to believe when you're getting 3 different stories from all over the place? Supposedly we're the bad guys now.
Well, I haven't sent anybody to be swatted. We haven't went real life.
Oh.
We haven't displayed any antisocial behavior, no impulsivity, no selfishness, unemotional traits. All this stuff that I'm looking at right now regarding this dark triad that he's speaking about. That's what I see on the other side is happening, especially the callousness of it all.
Yes.
We're not doing any of this stuff. We're just bringing out what we feel like are facts on the situation without being insultive. I'm trying not to be insultive to people.
All right.
Well, yeah, we are adults. The last time I checked, and I'm not going to sit there and let someone dictate to me. I think all of us need to be able to weigh in and say, "Excuse me, I won't be talked to that way." You're not the authority here. And then the other thing is herd behavior is pretty rampant. People, if said person did not have the backing of very many people, they would fade away rather quickly. So really, I'm not really concerned about her. I'm concerned about the people around her who are redeemable. I'd like to see.
Right.
Yeah.
She's surrounded by enablers and codependents. She's surrounded by those people that she is. It's sort of in like domestic violence, where they do something bad, and then they come back and they do something good. It's a circle of stuff like that. Earlier today, I heard Wendy say, "I don't like Diane," and that was hey, that's a breakthrough there.
And they used the word grooming last year with us, and we laughed it off, like they said that he was grooming us, and we laughed because we were liking it. Well, we can't get to the hairdressers, and we're adults.
COVID.
We can't be groomed. You know what I mean? So, So
he was Tucker was always really nice and friendly to me, but I didn't know the whole situation, and as soon as
I found out things yesterday I didn't even know. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know him as well as I know Diane, and and when I saw it, when I saw what people put out, I quit going over there. I didn't have anything to say about it. I just quit going over there. Other people were handling that. I wasn't in the mix of that. And this one, I know Diane very well. I've been on her panel several times. I shared emails with her. I talked to her. I've donated to her. So, but with Tucker, I vaguely knew him, and the other people were handling that situation. And like I said, I choose not to be in his chats, and he doesn't come over to where we're at.
He doesn't come over here anymore. No.
No.
One of the signs, when I did work in the church, I'm retired. I'm 71, but when I did work, one of the jobs I had was with a program with the Seattle Archdiocese called Call to Protect. It was part of the Safe Environment Program, and because of the pedophilia scandal in the church, not just the Roman Catholic, but in all churches.
I was going to say Catholic.
Yeah, and in about 7%. It's an estimate, but it's 93% don't offend. So we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But there is an image that is projected. Anyway, of what we did, and a lot of it was driven by lawsuits and money, unfortunately, instead of compassion. And that is, there was a requirement that people attend. Those who work with children and vulnerable adults, that they have to attend training for all of us to become, in a sense, the eyes and ears of the community. So it was school teachers, it was youth ministers, volunteers, whoever it may be. They were attending. I was one of the people who did the presentation. There was usually two of us. And grooming was oftentimes talked about. And those who groom get very good at it.
Oh, yeah.
Those who groom... Yeah, what they do initially, as I understand it, and I'm not an expert, but I'll just say this, they pay attention to the victim or the potential victim.
Yep.
And they're going to look at what they would perceive to be the roadway inside them in order for them to manipulate. Right. So if they hear you sharing a story of a sad story where perhaps you are vulnerable, they might come with the next statement toward you of expressing some type of real concern and that they have gone through that. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who actually do that, and they're not manipulating or grooming at all. But these people are very clever, and you usually don't see it happening. Matter of fact, when it comes to pedophilia, it is extremely rare to catch someone in the act. But what you do see are signs. And so signs are something that we have to look for, particularly when we're looking for scammers. We have to pay attention to the signs that are happening around us. And I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Or that's what I think you're talking about.
Diane said on Randy's the other day that she was going live and shutting all of this down, and that some things would be shown. Her live yesterday, why didn't she do what she said on Randy's? I don't know. I didn't hear it.
She's gathering, and what she's doing is she's gathering at this point in time because she doesn't have anything that she can't create, and she's taking we're in the fifth week, pushing 6 weeks on this, and I believe that she is gathering. She has to come because she knows that these people in this community are very smart, and that whatever she puts out, if she doesn't put out something that is feasible or something, if there's any mistake in it, we are going to find it. And I think that she's much faking at this point, and she's gathering. That's what I think she's doing.
What is she doing?
Right.
It's called mush faking. She's trying to make up something that looks presentable, and in order to clear herself, because she doesn't have anything. Or she would have just said, she would have just came right out like, look, this is where it went, this is where it's at, and there you go. She would have done that from day one. She's buying time. She's not right. She's not facing it head on because she has nothing to face it with.
Yeah, and Brian, if I can piggyback on what you're saying, one of the ironies and one of the hypocrisies in all of it is that she said, I'm not going to show receipts, and yet she did show receipts. She showed very recent ones to this fellow, Robert, or what's his name?
Yeah,
or James?
James. For a price, and that didn't work out so well for her either.
Right. But the fact of the matter is she did show receipts. So it's a question of are old ones viewable, but not new ones, but not old ones. And I think that we have to challenge that. There's a number of things that I think that we have to look at. I would agree with you, Brian. I think that she is assembling information. Unfortunately, I think sometimes she's gathered information that we have provided her. She could make a case for being persecuted. That's another sign, the victimization of the actual abuser. Yeah. And I think that the only card I think she can play really, if she cannot get something from St. Jude, and I'm really thinking she won't. And I'll tell you why. because there has been a flood or inundation of people calling. And I think that has set off the alarm bells for St. Jude. Also, hear this. This is, I think, real important. St. Jude already knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why they know it, because obviously they can look into their computer system and they can see what donations have come in from said person.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, they already know.
She might at this point, Stellar, if she tries to get something from them, they may tell her, hey, look, we're under active investigation with this. And we're not releasing any of that at this point in time until that investigation is over. So,
wait. I don't understand, because I thought she had already admitted that she did not donate all. She put some in her channel. So it's already out there that she didn't put it all in. She didn't donate it all.
Right. And she used the word allocated. That's a very important word. She said, I allocated some of that to my channel. And if you take a look at the demographics of her channel, she does not do videos. She doesn't make videos. She doesn't go live. She doesn't give presentations. And what the subs have paid for, in a sense, is her internet bill and her co-hosts that are always with her. Otherwise, what else is in her channel that when she gives prizes away and stuff? Right, but that's coming from the super chats that she didn't give to St. Jude's. That's what. Yeah,
right. I agree.
She's trying to make it as if she's used her channel to do so much good for the community. But basically, the community has financed that. So it's not her. It's the community doing it for the community. If you look at the money, if you look at the paper trail, I don't. What could she have invested into her channel that takes away from St. Jude's? When you say 100% of your super chats are going to St. Jude's, that's what you expect. Nothing less.
Right. Brian, one of the things I found interesting, which again was another, for me at least, a bit of a contradiction, to say the least, saying not everything went in, not everything was sent in. And then in the same breath, she says, but everything went to St. Jude. That was St. Jude. Now, wait a minute.
Which is it? Yeah.
Yeah. You can't say it's 100% and then say, but we didn't send it all into them, but they got everything. Well, no, that doesn't add up. I'm sorry.
But isn't that perpetuation of confusion a part of this game?
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly.
They keep you off center so that you never really have a grasp of what's really going on.
Yeah. She's trying to muddy the water. Sorry.
Another thing that Gilly Stellar is she is I'll just ignore that. She is she's deleting lives where she has said 100% is going to super chats. I'll ignore my phone. She's deleting all these lives. Hey, will you do something with that? She's deleting all
in the toilet.
She's deleting all the lives where she said 100% of super chats are going. And she's been deleting the lives where the most amount of super chats were in it. She's covering up is what she's doing.
But she's also saying that people are building their channels off of her. And I'm sorry.
well,
I'm not seeing it.
Well, the hypocrisy in that is that she has built her channel off of everybody else's woes.
Everybody has.
Yeah, right. Look, people are not going to come to your channel and sub to it if they don't like the content. But Diane has really built her channel off of drama, which is everybody else's downfall. So she's not got anything. She can't do that. You can't say that. If I put out content that people don't like, they're not going to sub to me. If you don't present it in a certain way, they're not going to sub to you. People like the drama. And okay, Diane, what original content have you put out that didn't have to do with you dragging someone else? Think about that.
I would have looked forward to a karaoke song from her. But
right? Yeah.
My baby does the hanky.
Yeah, that too. Yo.
I'd like to see that. I hear she's really.
But I think the subs too like to see you every once in a while, like to see your face, like the
right.
That's how they connect with you. And that's why I don't do it all the time. But I mean, I thought I would have you on panel tonight. And I was going to cam up because I think they appreciate that. I think subs do. I mean, I'm not, I mean, you know, when I get up first thing in the morning, it's for sure I don't want to cam up, but, you know.
Well, that personalizes the experience. Your channel is about friends and just chatting and having a place to just, you're not trying to.
Brian, Pepper wants you to check your text message right now. I don't know. It sounds like it's urgent. That might have been what you were ignoring a minute ago. So yeah, so that's what I didn't understand is how someone can get away with it. Like, and with Diane, it's been over a period of years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so can we also say that she's been grooming a community over a period of years? Or did it start out, and this is what I like to think, is start out innocent and then just work into that? I don't know how these things happen.
Carla, you know, and that's, I would think everyone in every circumstance is unique. They don't all unfold the same, but it would seem unusual that someone at that age, and I'm up there too, that they'd suddenly begin a criminal career. And that's not to say I'm accusing anything, because we don't have hard smoking gun or anything like that. But I think that what we do have is preponderance, and it's not looking good. And I think that there's more to come. Patience is going to be required. I suspect that St. Jude, when I talked to them, I said, look, you need to protect us as well, because we're trying to contribute to your hospital that we all love so dearly, but we're afraid our money may be going down the drain. So you need to protect us by letting us know if there is anything going on that's wrong. And they were very appreciative of that, and they do. And of course, they said, well, you can send it in directly. I said, well, there are other avenues and reasons why people do choose to donate in this way. We're learning, maybe the hard way. And so I think that there may be something that can be given to us. I would highly doubt that she would have a statement from St. Jude in support of her for a number of reasons, because number one, they are, as I mentioned, they already know what money has come in. And I'm just going to say off the top of my head, most of that is probably Teespring. So the other income, if there isn't much else.
Wait. What this one is saying, oh my God, Carla, there is yet any solid proof. What the fuck are you doing? What is happening in this community? You have her convicted already. This isn't education. It's a slaying.
Well, actually, we're talking about the behavior.
Actually, I don't think it's slaying.
I think Groovy Girl, she might be an example, Exhibit A of, like, Carla, you caught up late in the game last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know who she is. I've never even seen that. Not that I would. They all know all these icons, but maybe she's kind of new to what's going on. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. We're going by experiences that we've had too. Like, not just Diane, but right now what's going on is with Diane. All she does is bring up Teespring. I'm afraid you were right.
Yeah, and when I talk to them, I know a couple of people there pretty well because of the previous experience in Boyd with St. Jude, and I said, hey, there's some concern that maybe there could be a showing of receipts, but they're not going to be the direct donation. They're going to be ones that have come through Teespring, and we want to alert you to that. We don't want to be deceived. We simply want to know the truth. And we're all prepared to be told, hey, look, here they are, and rejoice and celebrate. Of course, that hasn't happened. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Groovy Girl says, I'm not new, really, Stellar. Yeah, I don't know you. I apologize if I've done anything to offend you. Based on no proof yet, I'm assuming to be new. Actually, there's quite a bit coming out today. Carla, were you going to say something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Or was that misdemeanor? I thought.
No. Just the fact that she spoke out of her own mouth that she did not give 100% to St. Jude's as she had said. I mean, that came from her But this was really about learning and going over some things that we could look at as far as red flags. Not, this isn't a court of law, obviously. But learning more about how we can protect ourselves against people that may try to abscond with our money or that sort of thing.
And I think the other thing is, in a normal course of human behavior, if someone were to say to you, hey, we've been contributing through your channel to St. Jude for years, it would be a wonderful thing to celebrate that, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It'd be a wonderful thing to say, look what you've done. 5,000, 10,000, whatever it is, 20, 30. But wouldn't it be wonderful? Let's do that. No, I'm sorry, we can't do that. I don't show receipts. But wait, and then the conversation gets brought to a sudden halt. That's bad on several levels. In terms of transparency, which are best practices, and I've talked about that. That is going to even make your any sort of contributions increase, donations increase as transparency does. So you certainly, I think, you owe a basic sort of stewardship responsibility to people who are donating to say, look, here's what you've done. You've sent this in, and here's what has happened with it. I looked forward to, which Tiffany Marie did on her channel, knowing about the children. And I honestly can't recall one time, and I asked other people who are more familiar, who've been around a lot longer than I have. I've only been here 1 year. Have you ever seen any evenings where they dedicated to bringing to the attention of the community how much good is being done with specific children who are at St. Jude Hospital? And nobody was able to say, no, I don't believe we've ever done that. And I think that is, that's more than unfortunate. I mean, that's the purpose of giving. We want to keep those children in the forefront of our mind. And by, suppressing basic information, you can go to your church and donate, and they'll send you an annual statement or a monthly statement.
Right.
If you deal with a bank, they're going to tell you, all of this. The only reason why it's not just her information is because we're all donating. Well, at least for those who have. And others have prayed for the success of St. Jude. So there's a lot of reasons why we're all concerned about this. And I think if anyone would ask me and say, hey, Stella, your channel was taking in income. We have some concerns. Man, I would be on that yesterday. And I'd say, here's everything. And if I lost someone, I'd say, wait a minute, let me contact them. And tomorrow we'll have everything I misplaced, I don't know why that's not being done, because that is basic human nature, to be transparent. Well, that's not being done. So that is a flag. It's not an accusation. It's a warning sign.
Right. That's why we've really stressed here, at least, that not only do you need to research the people you donate to, and I'm not talking about on YouTube, I'm talking about organizations that are established as collectors of donations for specific reasons, like St. Jude, like the American Red Cross, like MS Society, or whoever. Research them and make sure that your money is going to them, because there have been some kind of sketchy things. I know with the American Red Cross during 9/11, there was a lot of scandal going on where people were donating like crazy to the Red Cross, and maybe it wasn't going where it should be going. Okay. Please research them first. St. Jude is an excellent charity. And then make sure you're donating to them directly. That way you get confirmation that your money went to them, period. Right. And then we avoid all of this.
And misdemeanor, there was something brought up on one of the two previous, maybe on both, live streams that happened earlier today. And that was, there is a process, and Google has set it up. I'm trying to remember the name of it, in which it's sort of like Teesprings, where 100% of it goes, and it doesn't pass through anyone's channel. Right. And you can still have that acknowledgement and the public acclaim, or, good job, folks, because you're making this happen. You're helping this cause. Right. And yet there's safeguards around it. Now that's been in place for a while, and
Right.
I don't know why that wouldn't have been, or even now, put into place.
I ran across someone's channel by accident one day. I was looking up, I think, a DIY channel that's fairly successful, has a great number of subscribers, and they actually had where the chat is on my screen on my computer monitor, where the chat normally goes. It's all about a donation that this woman has set up, and I believe it's through YouTube.
Yes.
That anything that goes there, is that what you're talking about, where it goes straight to that charity?
Yeah, there's several ways to set that up. I know of some people over in the Boyd that have set that up. It's kind of, they set it up, but they don't handle the donations at all.
Right.
They go directly. The other one is set up through the donation. I wish I had that information in front of me, but it has safeguards in place, checks and balances. So,
Right.
you have 100% confidence, the same way you would if you just were to type in stjude.org. You would give directly. It would be as certain as that your donation. Yeah.
But that would be set up exactly like I described, where it would be like a big section and explains who the donor, who you're donating to, and what they do, and about their foundation. And none of that goes to Google or to YouTube, correct? They don't peel off 30% or whatever.
Well, and that is, yes, that's my understanding, and that is the beauty of it. So we don't lose any of that. Which is preferable. I mean, it's a it's one is so far superior to the other. Of course, we want everything to go to St. Jude. So why wouldn't that be set up?
Right.
And why wasn't it set up in the past? It's a head scratching question for me. How could you not be aware of it? I think it's something we need to make people aware of. I think charitable causes are really enhanced by online giving, and I'll tell you why. We have to be careful, but there is a psychology in giving where there's a chain reaction. People want to get on board. They want to help the cause, and they're all in a community effort to do it. That's why the Jerry Lewis Telethon and so many others are so successful. There's an energy, right?
There is.
A real energy.
There is. People, we've heard a lot about hate trains in the past few weeks. That's kind of the reverse of that. It's
yes.
getting behind and chipping in your energy to get these kids the care that they need. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a love train.
Yeah, it's a love train.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh goodness. Now Dave is doxing Brian.
Oh, boy.
Why does he do that stuff?
Well, it's okay. He's an idiot. Let's just listen to the good here that Stellar's put.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sad. I wouldn't recommend anybody give Dave the time of day. Dave burst onto the scene on Boyd about 2.5, 3 years ago. He's not an OG, but he came on being Mike the Millionaire or all kinds of different stories. If you want to talk about the triad of evil.
Yeah, Stellar. I don't want to distract from what you're talking about here.
Oh, no problem.
I
but Brian, I do think that we want to alert people to not just grifters and scamming, potential scamming.
Yeah.
We're not going to diagnose here. We're not pretending to be psychologists, but I do think that when we see things, and I know the training that I've had where we would try to train trainers to pass that information along to other people so that we can be many eyes and ears and protect the public. There's the police want that. We just need to be as educated as we can on these issues. We're not a lynch mob, but hopefully we're an orderly group that takes it upon ourselves to understand what to look for and then to go about that in a orderly, lawful, obviously way, a sensitive, humane way. And
it's been called though a witch hunt and a hate train, blah 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 blah.
Right,
and
of course it has.
Over and over and over again.
Right, that doesn't surprise me.
That leaves the children where, because it really isn't about a hate train. It's more about the children and what they didn't get. My opinion.
You're right.
And cough drop, with all due respect, I understand that he probably makes a lot of money, the CEO. I know a lot of people who make a lot of money through nonprofits. They make a great deal of money. I don't think I could do his job, first and foremost. I don't know what his job is. I'm sure that it's probably warrants a pretty large salary. There's a lot to do. That's a huge research operation that has brought life expectancies from 2% to 85% on some cancers, which is amazing in and of itself. Trying to correlate and orchestrate all of that under those roofs for those children and those families that don't have to pay a cent for any medication or any care that they receive. Food, housing, all of it is paid for. And he's in charge of that. You know, I'm not going to begrudge him that. And that's really not what this is about. And it's discouraging, could be discouraging in some ways from people donating to that institution. And I really don't appreciate that comment. I'm sorry. I just don't think that's appropriate.
On that?
Sure.
Mr. Meaner, I really agree with you. We're in the human condition, and none of us are perfect. Salaries can be obscene. But, you know, we are where we are. It takes $1 billion to keep St. Jude Hospital open every year. That is their $1 billion with a B.
Yeah.
And I think that, sure, we can work on that. Let's see if we can work on a better, you know, sort of compensation for people in executive positions. I mean, I would agree in general with that, but we are where we are now, and there's good being done. Let's move forward. Because we will never see completely, that's called the kingdom of heaven. You know, we're not at all close. But so I think that we have to kind of just give ourselves a chance to take a breath, realize that we have an imperfect system. We have an imperfect government. We have a lot of things that could be improved. But
we're humans, so we are imperfect. But I heard the comment made, no child is turned away from St. Jude, so what does it matter? It does matter.
Well, let's say that one person gets away with scamming St. Jude's and taking money from it, and then another person, and then another person, then children will start getting taken away. So if you nip it in the bud as much as you possibly can, that money was supposed to go to support that hospital, which was Danny Thomas's dream to cure leukemia and to help these children. So why is it okay to take away a single dime from it?
Right, Brian.
Tell me how much is okay. Well, it's okay to take that much from them. You tell me how much fraud is okay in that. If you can answer that, then you got the answer to your question.
Because fraud in and of itself is like a cancer. And, you know, if you look through examples through history of communities where one person does it, like Brian said, and then the next person, it spreads like a cancer.
See, it's a deterrent. When you do things like this and you call out one scammer, it actually is a deterrent to the next one that might be thinking about it.
Correct.
Well, and Brian, yes, absolutely. Good points you're making. And on top of that, St. Jude does not want or need any bad press. In 2018, they had, I was reading recently about that one, where money was returned to people who had donated intending it was earmarked for St. Jude. It didn't arrive. And that type of thing will turn people off from giving the thing. Oh, well, you know, it's not going to get there. Of course, that's why they say the certain path is the direct path. You can give directly to St. Jude. Be very careful when you have someone other than the direct route. But even that, St. Jude is giving, we have other ways of putting in self-protective mechanisms to prevent fraud.
Yeah, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. Those are cliches, but they're words to live by.
True.
Someone has to take the stand, you know, to let other people know that if we run across it, we're going to call it out. And if
the thing is, people have been calling her out for a couple of years now.
Well, you know, sometimes it takes a while to get the ball rolling.
And that's exactly my point about what happened to me last summer. Okay, so sometimes you have to just
now that ball is out of control.
Believe.
It's about to crash on that little house of cards over there.
Or from our research, Amanda, she says it matters because the extra money could be used to organize more activities, make living arrangements for more children more comfortable. Every cent counts, it does. And the research alone that place is doing is amazing.
That's right.
You know, when you
That's
sit
right.
in front of a doctor, I heard one of the mothers, I get chill bumps when I think about it, but I heard one of the mothers say in one of the video clips that she took her daughter to St. Jude's and she said, "Can you treat my daughter?" And the doctor said, "No, ma'am, we're going to cure your daughter."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are huge words, huge words. That's saying things that you don't normally say in the medical community at all. You make no promises, but that's their commitment to these families, not just these kids, but their families.
Mhm.
This
Right.
illness affects that entire family and friends and that group around that child. So just to know that they're willing to commit that much, it's amazing to me.
Right.
There are
Can I address can I address a side chat comment before it goes by?
Sure.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brian. B. Hart says the CEO of Goodwill is not a good guy. Please look into him when time permits. I wanted to just piggyback on that and say, if you were to Google the words charity navigator, charity navigator, and there are others, but basically what they're doing is giving you the best now present information available on various charities, and they're rated as such, A rated or less. And so if you wanted to find a good organization, that would be one resource you could turn to.
Yes. Like I was saying before, check out the charities. Make your determination who you're comfortable donating to. And then donate directly,
Corey.
And, there's other ways to donate too. If you have a hospital in your area, if you don't have finances, such that you can just do that, there's a lot of ways you can volunteer in these places to give parents a break or family members of elderly patients that are there a break to sit at a bedside, to read a book, with the kids, play a game, but find ways. Your local churches, I'm sure, can also find you ways to volunteer.
Absolutely.
That's really important too.
$2.2 million a day is what St. Jude needs to effectively run. It's quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And even with that, they don't turn away any children. And there's children from all over the world there.
Yeah.
That's why there was all those flags from all countries all over the world, which is amazing.
There's been instances of that hospital paying for travel too.
Yes.
Yeah.
To fly them from underprivileged countries where they can get them the help that they need.
Yeah.
I believe there are also, you could look up St. Jude affiliates. Of course, Memphis, Tennessee is the mothership hospital, but I think there's about 8 other, I don't know if they call them clinics or hospitals. I'm sure they are hospitals, but other affiliated St. Jude medical institutions. So you have more than the one in Memphis as well.
I'd love to go there.
I would too.
Just hang out and donate some time.
Just a question, what would you like to see happen with Diane? Like now, what could end this and maybe bring some healing to this community? Do you think anything can be done now?
Well, can I weigh in on that? I don't.
Oh, yes, please.
But there's always time. As long as the jet is fueled up on the runway and they're not on it and flying away, I think there's time to reconcile this. But it requires transparency. It requires being as truthful. Another word for transparency is honesty. So we have to get things out into the open. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. And then the other thing is the community is largely forgiving. Someone mentioned earlier tonight here, Carla, that if someone had said, "Look, I had some problems in my own personal life, and I dipped into it. I feel bad about it. Personal emergencies, and I want to repay that." I think people are generally going to be willing to say, "Okay, you know what? In fact, you might even be held in higher esteem. How about that?" When you actually have people saying, "Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. My grievous fault. I did something wrong, and I want to make it right." So I think that there is that possibility. Do I think that will happen in this case? Based on what we've seen so far, I would say probably almost zero chance of that happening. It's unfortunate because I think the community would work with her, and we could make this this go away. We can make it a win-win for St. Jude. There could be a process to try to make up for what has. I mean, people are generous here. My goodness, I'm so impressed with people here.
Oh yeah,
They
Oh
are.
yeah.
they've
Right,
raised,
so-
they've raised a lot of money over the last couple of weeks just for this fact that St. Jude's has been a target of
That's
their-
right.
I know of at least $5,000 that's
Yeah.
been put in.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's benefiting the kids a little bit. You know.
But I think this, this could have been, we could have had this resolved weeks ago had she not come forward and been honest. I mean, for whatever it is, whatever happened, and not come out with her hand, dukes up, ready to fight, and say you're going to take down everybody that's not on your side. It's ridiculous to me.
Or threaten to sue St. Jude. I mean, I always tell the joke about, the three things in life you never do. You don't start a land war in Asia. You're not going to win. You don't take a station
Are
wagon.
you
full of
sure?
guns.
Are you sure about that?
I think historically, Vietnam would be
Historically, yeah.
an example. But you don't go to court with a station wagon full of nuns. And number three, you don't sue St. Jude.
Right.
But
Right.
if there was a change of heart and a complete, okay, let's get this all out in the open. You say you're going to be understanding and forgiving. I would stand right there with her, and I'd say, okay, let's do this. Let's do the right thing. This is a teachable moment for the whole community. What a beautiful thing that would be. That's the story of. I told it in my last video. The story of King David.
Right.
When you do atrocities, there's always a way out, but not
Right.
everyone will take them.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the sad part of it all. It's just turned into a war that didn't have to be fought.
Right. Freudian slippers. I didn't want to lose this. You can't sanction. No one's doing that.
No.
But there is a way for us to, and I would also say it's very unlikely because you have to have a victim of a crime. I'm not sure that you can point to St. Jude. There may be a way of doing that. That's up for attorneys to look at. But right now, of course, we always would say the children are the true victim. But the people who donated the money that was earmarked in one direction and it was not sent in that direction, that they could make a case for those people being victims as well. But yeah, things are underway, and I don't know. I have no idea how it's all going to turn out, but I do believe it would be better if there was a full accounting and honesty, even now.
Yeah. And hopefully that will happen, but I'm not holding out much hope. I'm hoping it will,
Right.
but I'm not holding out much hope. And I just wonder how someone, I guess maybe with the dawn of the internet, people think they can, because you don't see people, or you're so far away that you can pull off something, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Hard to.
Yep. Freudian slippers, I most certainly do.
Oh.
I do.
Not only that, the ones that
right
really
now-
astounded me before that I've heard of is the individuals that start up a fake charity to
Right.
collect money from. I thought that, wow, really?
St. Jude is working on multiple cases, as are all charities, and many of them happen online. And that's why, this is the second rodeo for me, and many others are going on, and others have tackled them. Don't know how the outcome is going to be, but I think the biggest thing is if you want to prevent fraud, charity fraud, then you really have to, we have to become more educated and more aware so that the eyes and ears of people will be able to point out potential, when we see flags go up, we shouldn't dismiss that. So often we turn our heads the other way. Oh no, that can't be. And that's exactly what happens when fraud takes place.
And it's sad to me. It's sad because I'm a type of person that takes you at your word. And that's maybe why I trusted who I trusted last year.
Of course.
You know, because I like to believe in the good in people, and maybe that's a lesson for all of us to learn from. I don't know.
Right. It is, and myself included. Carla, I trusted too. I was fooled. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I was fooled as well.
Was Diane your friend, though? Because I know Tucker was your friend, but was Diane your friend, a close friend?
Well, not in the sense that I would speak to her. Tucker and I talked frequently. I don't have a lot of green rooms, but I had one with him and someone else. There was 3 of us in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And that went on for a somewhat of a long time, but not nearly. No, the drama community is new to me as of a year ago. So I don't have a history there with Diane. A little more.
Something had to have brought out red flags. Was it Tiffany's whole investigation? Or was it,
Well, what happened was when Tiffany was gracious enough to let me go up on her panel, and I was just wanting to share best practices for charitable donations and transparency and all of that. Then things started to have a life of their own. This became threatening information. Wait a minute, we're supposed to be objectively transparent. We don't do that. Yes, we should be. That's best practices. And I think a lot of things happened, but this really was the vigilance of Tiffany, Marie, and Corey. I think historically, that's what I'm told. I don't know Tiffany and Corey really well either, but I have come to get to know them, and I very much appreciate what they have done. I mean, certainly, there's one other person I want to give credit to, and then I'll stop. I'm sorry, I don't mean to monopolize. A channel by the name of Malarkey.
Okay.
That channel has provided a lot of information, and they're going about trying to look at the financial situation vis-a-vis some software that they have available to them, and find out as best we can how much money has actually been donated through super chats, for example.
Okay.
That's available. It isn't always 100% reliable, but there is. We can begin with some kind of approximation, and then from there, let's see. Red says, Stella, can you explain 1, misappropriation of funds, 2, co-conspirators, 3, could this fall under either? Well, those are all questions that are out in the open now. Those are all being talked about. I would love to see people who are close. I was close to Tucker. There was 3 of us that were in that orbit. Well, actually, as I found out later, there was more than the 3 of us. And I think I was the only person that really parted ways from Tucker. The other in his orbit did not. Now, I don't know if people that are really closely aligned with Diane are going to have a parting of ways. I guess Wendy, to some degree. I don't know. We had a smoking gun, though, remember. We had an actual receipt that was sent in that was the investigation showed us that this money was not found in their system. The receipt itself was not valid, was not real.
Right.
Now, that was from Diane or from Tucker?
That was a year ago from Tucker. Yeah.
Okay.
With Diane, we're not seeing receipts, and that's another flag for me.
Okay.
So what eventually happened with that, with the donations where Tucker was concerned? Anything?
Was he convicted? Was he? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, and I did a video after the April one that you saw, Carla, but I closed that channel. I was moving on, by the way.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, something else happened some month or 2 ago, which drew me back in, and I was also contacted by some folks too. So I didn't intend to be back in. I've got another channel most people don't know about, and I'm going in a different direction, in a different area. But how that ended up very simply was when you have international white collar crime, if you want to call it crime, now there was no conviction, so I can't really say that.
Right.
But I can say where you had a international white collar investigation, because we did have that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was jurisdiction was proven in Ontario, in London, Ontario. And the person that I spoke to, who was a detective constable, I believe his name was Sam Page, basically told me that they cannot prosecute international white collar crime if it is under $1 million in total amount.
Okay.
He said we turned one down for $500,000 recently. I said, well, we're not approaching that.
Wow. Well, how much was it exactly with that person?
Well, all I can with certain tell you is that there was one receipt that was not received according to the results of the investigation of St. Jude for $7,050. There was another receipt sent in for $1,300. That receipt was found, but here's the catch. They cannot tell you and verify how much money was actually sent in. So the actual documents are easily manipulated. I sent one to a friend, and she said, let me work on this. And 5 minutes later, she sent it back and saying, congratulations, Stellar, you just donated $7,000. Well, I had actually donated 25 or 50 or whatever it was. And she manipulated the figures. It's easy to do that when you get it in an email format, which St. Jude sends you a thank you in, or even from PayPal. So therefore, we do not know precisely how much money from those two receipts. Now, a lot of people say, well, there's a far greater amount of money that was involved. I'm not going to deal in speculation. All I know is the actual documents that were shown publicly and that I held in my hand were sent into St. Jude to verify, and they did. And so we know for a fact, and I say this because the investigation didn't just end with St. Jude saying this money is not in our system. We don't have that $7,050. In addition to that, the London, Ontario Fraud Division in their police department, the detective constable I was telling you about, Sam Page, said he went and talked to PayPal directly. Mm-hmm. PayPal was given the receipt that I gave him, and they looked it over and said, this is not a valid receipt. This is not real. It's counterfeit. It's a manipulated receipt. So we had two verifications. St. Jude didn't get the money, and the police department, talking about it, looking it over with PayPal, said this isn't real. This is a fake receipt. So I can guarantee you there's that much at minimum that did not make its way to St. Jude.
And is it true that you lent him money too, and that was never
in a private loan? Yes, in a private loan, and I did. I wasn't going to bring that up, and since you mentioned that, let me clear something up that a lot of people have been saying, and it's not true. Oh, Stellar went after Tucker because he didn't repay the $5,000 loan. No, that's not actually the case. Tucker himself, that was a private matter between myself and him. At the time, we didn't have any of this information, and I wanted to help him with his Patreon, and he was thinking about doing some traveling down the Pacific Coast Highway, Washington, Oregon, California. I said, that'd be great content. Then he thought, well, maybe a boat. So he wasn't sure what direction he was going to go in. And I said, hey, and he asked for a loan. I said, and we set up a repayment. And then time went, and I said, just do what you can when you can. I'm figuring that he would repay me. Well, in the middle of that, we had the two receipts being looked at, and one of them turned out not to be sitting where it should have been. The money was missing. So about 2 months, I would say maybe in March at some point, out of the blue, he brings that up. And I had not publicly spoken about that private loan. It was private. I was not going to talk about it. Had nothing to do with St. Jude. Right. Well, some people were saying, oh, Stellar's just angry. He didn't get his loan paid back. I'm sorry, that's not true. I was angry that the money was not at St. Jude, that people donated, including myself. That's what made me angry and made me concerned. Well, the whole loan thing came later. So I said, yeah, that's actually, Carla, you'll get a kick out of this. I don't know if you know this, but it was on your side chat. Someone, and I don't know who it was. It was a
Asked
troll.
when you were going to get paid back, and he said, "How about never?" I
How about
remember
never?
that.
How
How about never?
Yeah, never. So that was a great.
And see,
screen
that's
grab.
when the trolls were coming in, and I did not know what to
Yes.
believe. And it was in my side chat, definitely was, and I do remember that because I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
Well, I mean, he handed it to me on a silver platter. So it's like, thank you. Is there anything else you want to say? And I think a lot of times what happens is people become persona non grata simply because of their actions and their behaviors and their words. And people eventually say, I've heard enough. This person, oh my God. Even though we won't have a conviction, the court of popular opinion has weighed in,
Mhm.
and the rest is history.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on so long.
No, I know. That's why I had you up, because I'm trying to understand it myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You know what? Something I want to understand is how this man is 71 years old and he looks like he's about 50.
that's pretty good.
It's living right, Brian. That's living right.
Yeah, living
Brian,
living his
Brian,
best life.
yeah, that's right. Brian, I didn't quite hear that. Would you repeat that again?
I said, I don't understand how.
No, I heard you.
When I first met you, you were over on Randy's channel that night that she got swatted.
Yes.
And they were using my name. She told me behind the scenes that it was Tucker that did that. And so that drew a whole bunch of I was dealing with a lot of different stuff. But when I first met you, I thought you had to have been 45, 50 years old. When I first saw you over there, I was like, man, if I'm 71, I want to look like that.
I think it was Diane that told me that. How can you have Tucker on your panel when he swatted Randy? I'm like, wow.
Well,
I
Randy
did not know that.
told everybody it was me. But
I don't know what happened there. I know she got swatted, but I didn't know that.
She told me it was Tucker that had that done.
So moving forward, if you've got somebody that you pop into their chat and they're doing a fundraiser or they're encouraging donation through them, are you asking for receipts? Are you just saying no, thank you? Or, where do people go from this point forward? I mean, I've heard, people wanting to take up donations for the community, put it back into the community. And I don't want people to not want to give, but I don't want them to be taken advantage of either.
Right.
So what moving forward?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't know if that's directed at me, but I think I think St. Jude will be an advocate for us. I think that we want to, I would love to get a statement from them about best practices. I would like to hear them weigh in. Right. This is the second time now that we've had a situation of deep concern about misappropriation of funds and so forth.
Right.
So I would want to, and then I think the community itself could decide how we want to go about this. Now, we already know there are other avenues that will be safeguards, ways that we can go. Google has them in place. So if we want to set aside, I think we need to just, somebody mentioned to me, we need to put a video together of best practices for charitable donations. And that should be,
that is a good idea.
Yeah, and put up in multiple places so people can say, oh, you're thinking of doing that? Well, please, 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 before you do, take a look at this video. We've had some problems. Yeah.
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 That's a great idea.
I think there's going to have to be some healing going on in this community by a lot of people.
Right.
There are going to be a lot of people that are very, very leery of giving to charities because of this. And that's sad.
That's the bad part. I wish that Diane would just disappear for a while. Just go away. Because as long as she's here, people are not going to stop talking about her. Period. This is in the drama, this is the worst I've seen in about 3 years.
Right. Lily, I'm going to draw attention to Lily's question before it gets away here from me. I have a question. If fraud is proven on a YouTube channel, can the channel be shut down, and how? I would say most certainly it's against terms of service. I don't think there's any question about that.
Mhm.
So if there is enough details suggesting that, I think that could be reported. I'm not suggesting that we have that. I'm not suggesting it would be anybody report, but I'm saying that we're trying to find some sort of clarity and resolution and see where things stand. I think we have to be a little bit patient right now for St. Jude to weigh in. I think they will.
Stellar. Yeah. Do you see in your chat that Hockey Mom is asking to come up?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh, she can come up.
I just want to stop you because somebody asked to come up. That's all.
Oh, sure. She can come up.
It's Stellar. Sometimes it takes you a minute to get a point out, and you get it out every time. I just wanted.
I just wanted to ask,
Thank you,
maybe creators should be required to set up legal trusts for the charity, an ironclad guarantee that the money will go to the legal trust.
Wouldn't that be something if YouTube would get a group of people together from different communities that this happened to and say, let's brainstorm here. Let's come up with an idea where this doesn't happen anymore. And they can set up their own best practice with creators where there's some fail-safe mechanism where this can't happen.
Is that you, Hockey Mom?
She doesn't cam up, but that's.
No, I know it. I want to hear her voice. Is that you? Hello?
Hang on, she's checking her beans real quick.
Checking her beans.
Hockey Mom says 100% of donations you give to her goes to a fresh pot of beans.
Hockey Mom, is that you? Hello? Is your mic working?
She doesn't. She won't. She doesn't.
I know she's not going to cam up. I want to hear her voice.
Yeah, you can't miss that voice.
No, I know her voice.
I'm not gonna mess with her. We're good.
See, Amazon also has charities where every purchase you buy on there, they give a percentage to the charity of your choice. Exactly like with the Teespring arrangement, where you can direct it all to go to them, to the charity.
Try again, Hockey Mom.
Yeah, come up again.
And I think most of them have like a sliding scale. If you wanted to only do 25%,
Yes,
50%, 100%, whatever, you know.
exactly.
You suck. Look at you. Poor Hockey Mom.
Poor
Come on up, honey.
She
I just didn't hear your voice. I didn't want to get porned. I've been porned before.
Unless you want to porn us, then that should be okay.
Hockey Mom.
No. Brian promised to porn us. Brian has porned me.
He
I'm
has
sorry
porned
to say.
you.
Take my ass into
He showed me his butt one time.
Yep.
Okay, here she is. Hello, Hockey Mom.
Hi, can you see me? Hear me? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, now
Hi.
that's her.
Well, I haven't
Hey.
heard her voice
Hi,
for about 8
Brian.
days. Hi,
Hey,
Hockey
Stellar.
Mom.
Hi, Hockey
Hey,
Mom.
Julie.
Well,
Hey, I
Hey.
just want to say what legally from my 1 year of law school that I can remember. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just reading from my books. She had an individual contract with each donor.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
okay, that's and then she has an obligation to St. Jude as I think a third party beneficiary. I'm not sure, but there's legal precedent. There's legal reasons why she just can't say this isn't morally, of course, right?
Mhm.
But
Yes.
legally.
Right.
So, and then everyone would have to sue individually. There could not be any community,
Absolutely.
suing or whatever.
It would have to
Right.
be
And then
individually.
I probably yeah, and then also, according like most lawsuits, if you say you're going to give someone a donor, if you're going to be a donor, the judge will rule in like St. Jude's favor,
Every
even
time.
though
Oh,
because
really?
What
it's
about
public. It's like public policy. That's all
Right.
I wanted to say.
If there's any
Just
type
a
of
little.
charge, I think if there's any type of charge, it'd have to be done on an individual basis based on each super chat. And what you'll have is theft by deception. And if it was supposed to go to St. Jude, like Hockey Mama said, they're just an innocent bystander in it. And if the money was supposed to be allocated there, then any winnings or anything in a civil would go directly to St. Jude's. And
but that's civil.
Right.
So criminal, could it not be considered wire fraud?
well, yeah, criminal. Well, yeah, we're looking at theft by deception as the first charge, and then as a secondary charge would be wire fraud, because if they prove theft by deception, they find out it's been done interstately, then you have the wire fraud.
Right.
So that could be added on after it, probably maybe after a conviction of theft by deception. I would think.
This is
before-
international though too, right? I
It
mean,
depends on how many people get
donated from all over the world.
But
yeah.
international laws are kind of
Hi,
strange.
Miracle.
Right.
Sorry.
It would
But
seem
anyway,
to me
Hey,
that-
Hockey Mom, you're my favorite.
no, you
Uh,
yeah. So Robbie comes in, then you
I
say,
tell
"Oh,
Robbie
Robbie,
comes
I love
in.
you."
Well, you're cheating
I
on
know.
me with both of them. See, so
Yeah.
there's that. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you.
Hockey
All
Mom
right.
makes-
I just wanted to say that little bit of. I mean, I didn't go to law school for 1 year for no reason, I guess. So, just talk to you guys
Hockey Mom,
later.
could I ask
Thank you for bringing that.
You knew it would come in handy, right?
Exactly.
Could I ask
Bye.
a question, Hockey Mom? A question for you.
Yes.
Based on, I guess, recent history, some people, including like Lady Beekeeper and I think a few others, have approached her directly and said, "I would like my donations back." And my understanding is, some of those people receive their donations back. Now, it would seem to me that would be the best course to take before legal, because
Right,
you don't incur
Sorry, go
legal
ahead.
funds. Well, you don't incur obviously legal charges, and if she's going to do that, I don't see how that's like a run on the bank. I don't see how she'd be able to return everyone's money. I think that would be, at some point, she'd say, "I can't do this." And also, I think just the fact that you would refund money if it was sent to St. Jude. My question for you was, why would anyone return it? I mean, if I
Yeah.
approached that and said, "Okay, I donated $100. So, Diana, I'd like that back because I'm going to donate it myself directly. I have doubts about it having gone." And then she would say, "Okay, here it is." Is that not odd to you? It's like, wait a minute, I sent it in. Why
Right.
should I send it back?
Right, because the only way, like, she's in breach of contract with all the monies that she didn't send. So I don't know why she would send it back. That would just say, "I'm guilty, guilty, guilty."
That's what I thought.
But she's
Yeah.
already done that with certain people. She's already given them their money back.
Yeah.
And not to be cried guilty. Like when you give
But
the
if
money back.
I don't know how much people have given. I only gave like 40. But I mean, if they did like 500 or something and they live close to her, I would go sue her in small claims court.
Well, we have someone in our Discord that's given a couple of $100. So, some people have given
Where does she
more.
live? Where does she live?
Not close.
On the West
Not
Coast.
Oh, okay. Well, we could fly out. I could fly out there with her. We could go see Diane. So, but that's
If
the
you
only
can
way
find her.
legally. That's the only way legally to get the money from her. I mean, I think this is a really great question for a law exam. But
For pay.
You
So-
passed it.
anyway, so if anyone, I'm just saying that's just my unprofessional opinion. So.
Well, you got more knowledge than I do about the legalities of it all.
Do you
Well,
think,
because-
let me ask you
Mhm.
this, Hockey Mom, do you think that possibly that could be part of the whole cloak and dagger thing of who is she, where does she live? Because if you don't know where she is, you can't very well, file
Sue her.
suit.
Yeah.
Probably because I don't think she had any intention of ever donating, because if she like, okay, I want to donate, this is great, I'm going to donate this first month.
Yep.
Okay, I could see her maybe, sliding off later on, but she didn't even do the first month, that they were a channel.
Well, that would,
So-
that would go to the question of why are y'all so interested in knowing who Diane is and where she lives?
That's why.
There's a good reason,
Yeah.
Right, there is.
She could be
There
tracked
is.
down from. She could be tracked down from. If YouTube, let's say Google got involved and Google, got subpoenaed, they could find her.
But nobody's been able to. She's managed to keep herself pretty well hidden for a long time.
So good.
And now with the whole Tucker thing, was this his first rodeo, or had he defrauded people before? Was this, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
usually it's not
let me-
something that just happens.
That's right, Carla. And I think that people don't begin a criminal career at age 60 or 70 usually. But in his own words, I did a video in his own words, because we found a social media drop, something that he dropped on social media. It was up for 7 years. And it was a statement that he made publicly. So I'm not speaking out of class here, but where he said he was planning to move to Brazil. He had a fiancée there. And but he had some marks against him. He wondered about what the background checks were going to be for that type of activity, because he had some run-ins with the law. So that was the first information. And then I had that verified by the RCMP. They said, yeah, it's the same sort of problem that we're looking at now.
Wow.
Oh, Lily, yeah, Lily. People on Social Security disability are required to file taxes.
Yeah, they are. And also, Lady Beekeeper said that she did receive money back from Diane, but there's a hold placed on it.
Right. And Lady Beekeeper sent in what she got back directly to St. Jude. That's the type of stand-up person Lady
Thank
Beekeeper.
you, Lady Beekeeper.
That's right. Thank you.
Much
and that's
love,
the person
honey.
I was talking about in our Discord that has donated a couple $100 once
That's
to
what
do
she-
her to directly donate herself, because
But
now what she's upset about is the money that she thought was designated for St. Jude's never got there, and she would not because she wants her money back from Diane, because she wants it to go where she wanted it to go in the first place.
Now, I'm going back to what Lily is saying here. There is something interesting about the mail that was received over in that rental home. The mail that was received over in that rental home by the tenants in there were Social Security papers for Diane. And that may be a lead. If she's collected all this money and not reported it to Social Security, then you might have an issue. If she's on Social Security, you still have
Brian.
Yes.
Brian, well, can you catch us up? I came in 2 or 3 hours late into that particular hangout.
Okay. Okay.
So they found out she does not live in Bluebell.
Right. Diane has been telling people that she had a rental property over in Bluebell. And we found out too, because I reached Bob. I got a hold of Bob, and some people got a hold of Bob's mother. She doesn't know Diane. And they found out that the rental, Diane's been telling people she has this rental home in Bluebell, and it's not hers, it's Bob's. People contacted the people that live there, and they said, are you talking about this Diane P? Because mail keeps coming there, and Bob actually goes to pick up the mail. Well, they don't know her. So basically she lied about having the rental home. It's not hers, but some of the mail that has been coming there in Diane's name is from the Social Security Administration.
Ooh.
And of course, we don't know what it is because these people can't open it.
Right.
But in a way to find her is if somebody just reports that name to Social Security with all this income from YouTube, because you do have to report your income. If you can only make a certain. My wife's on disability. She can only make a certain amount of extra money, and she has to report that. So if Diane hasn't reported that, and Social Security gets into it, then you might have her on lockdown. Then you might be able to find her. I'm just saying.
Can I point out something that Cameo Collections said earlier, if I can find it? If people are, I can't find it, but basically, if people are asking for refunds, her account might be
Opened up. Right.
Yeah, frozen or something. It might be unable to process all those funds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there have been people asking for that, and we don't know about it, so I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I would like to know is, what is the importance of finding out who she is? Is it because there might be, something nefarious?
Carla,
No, I really, seriously, it's a serious question, Brian.
it is, and
I think a lot of people don't care what she looks like. It doesn't matter.
It's not about what she looks like. Let's say we all had Diane's home address, and somebody that put in a super chat wants to file a civil claim on her.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can do it. And if one person files civil claim on her, and then another person, that's why people want to know who she is and where she's at, for the legality of it.
Mm-hmm.
In case they want to go legal, or nobody wants to. I don't want to see anybody go harm Diane. I don't like the fact that she says she's being threatened. I don't like her subs being threatened. But I think it's important that if we're going to accuse her of illegal activity, the only way that we can pursue any kind of legal ramification is we have to know who she is and where she's at.
Lily, that's a good point too. I ran across that working for the census this year that there were traveling mailboxes for particularly with travel trailer communities. So if you had like a fifth wheel or you had a recreational travel trailer type vehicle, you can sign up at one location and they basically take the mail around to whatever location you're currently at. But it doesn't give a lot number. It doesn't even verify that you're even there in that park. I mean, it was bizarre. I thought, wow, I guess, if you're really a pretty shady person, you can use this system and get away with a lot of stuff.
But Mr. Positive,
yeah.
Mr. Positive says, I want to correct something. You don't have to file for taxes if you're only on SSI. Well, Nicole gets it, and she files. She has to file.
But Brian, why would you need to? Okay, so another question I wanted to ask was, why did you need to warn this family?
Why did we need to warn this family? Because
Is it because they were saying that they were going to get swatted, or know what I mean? There was a lot of accusations going out.
Yeah, Dave the fisherman, he's on this too, and he's saying, "We know where you live, Diane, and that house is under surveillance, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and there's moving vans out there, police are all over there." Well, Diane didn't take the liberty of getting hold of her quote tenants to tell him, "Hey, I've got myself in a jam here. This house is in my name. I just want you to be aware. I know you have children there." She didn't do that. So some other people in the community took the liberty of doing that, and then they found out it's not Diane's house.
I wonder why Bob didn't do that. I mean, if they're married and
Bob doesn't know anything about this. I'd be willing to bet you money that Bob does not even. She said that, but yeah, Brian, quit calling Bob. He doesn't want to hear from you. Blah blah. I would bet you money she don't talk to Bob. I bet you money. 7 years that Bob has been with another woman and is completely happy, according to his renters. Why would he want to talk to Diane? I wouldn't want to talk to any of my exes because I'm happily married to. I wouldn't want to be like kicking it with one of my exes. That would piss my wife off.
Yeah.
Now my ex-wife is different. We got kids and they're friends, but just say one of my exes. I wouldn't want to be, I bet you I'd be willing to bet money Bob didn't even talk to her. And if he did, he'd be get my name out there in this crap.
You guys see there's a side chat comment from Kipper.
Right.
Yes.
Traveling mailboxes to view your mail online. It still goes to your mailbox. It's just that every piece of mail is scanned so you can view it online. Trust me. And believe me, this person, Kipper, does know. She, I don't know.
Interesting.
That's right.
Kipper,
here
Oh,
too.
so she could see what mail is there.
If she has
I
a
didn't
traveling
know.
mailbox.
Well,
If
she's getting mail from banks, and like this lady said, what people say, there's bank mail coming there, Social Security mail coming there. Maybe she can read it and just leave the paper there and not be worried about it. You're right. But
yeah.
if you're on Social Security, you really do. They follow up with you quite a bit. Every couple of years, you have to do a review and all this. But it's just interesting that mail from the Social Security Administration is coming to that house in Diane's name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she doesn't seem disabled to me, but that doesn't mean.
But who knows?
Yeah, that doesn't mean she isn't.
do we know who she is?
I think there's more we don't know than what we know. I say that from myself anyway. But then I'm just,
maybe that's a lesson learned.
Well,
It
Diane
is.
has admittedly said that the donations were thousands of dollars. So that's income. And in certain instances, like Mr. Positive is saying, you do always have to report your income. If Nicole went out and got a job, she'd have to report her income. If she made a certain amount, they would cut her off. She doesn't have to report my income. My income doesn't matter when you're on SSD. It doesn't matter. I could be a millionaire. She still qualifies for it.
Hey, but when you're getting donations for a charity, do you have? I don't know how that works.
It's still income.
It's still listed as your income, correct?
Well, no, look, if she's in control of that money, and she can say, "I allocated it," that means I divvied it up. And you got her saying with statements going, "It's my money." That's her income. It's now your income. You just claimed it verbally. You claimed it. It's my money. Tell that to the Social Security Administration. See what they have to say about that. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, just not like I'm a call or anything. But I'm just saying. Yeah, let her try and deny that it's her income, and then somebody's got a recording of her going, "It's my money."
Hello, little boy.
I'm just reading the comments here. I also knew a divorced couple that had to work together every day for years after the husband stepped out.
Right, you have to report your income to SSI. Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't know. Yours might be different. If you're getting Social Security SSI, Nicole gets SSD. It
Okay.
might be different, but she we try to put her back in the workforce, and just because she wants to, most people that are disabled would rather go to work.
So Kipper, so for the traveling mailbox, so when you list your address you would use that address, that traveling mailbox, or would you list a physical address where it's actually going to be delivered? Does it make I don't even know if I'm asking them right.
I wonder if
I have
Kipper
no
could.
idea. I've never heard of that.
I wonder if Kipper could come up. I don't know. She's been on
Can
panels.
you come up, Kipper?
Kipper, come up.
She is someone I highly regard.
That's not
for-
right.
Okay. I'll put the link in the chat, Kipper, for you.
I like that name, Kipper.
Yeah, I don't know if you can come up, Kipper, or not, but
If you, oh shoot, did I put the link
Informed
in there?
delivery.
I think that looks right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Anita has informed delivery through USPS, and they tell her what's on the way and what's been delivered. A pin that identifies you. Okay.
So, when she gave prizes away, wouldn't the address, her return address, be on those return or on those gifts that she mailed out? You know what I mean?
We'd have to ask those people.
Yeah, the people that got gifts, they would know.
It works if you have a P.O. box or a physical mailbox. Okay.
Lady Beekeeper, she can't be wrong, so she'll never admit how badly Diane took advantage of her. Or so they say. I've never been a fan of their bullying ways.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't like bullies.
USPS informed delivery. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's something to look for.
Good boy.
Is Kipper coming up?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if they're still in here. Oh, there. You list a physical mailbox, but let's say you do not live there and are not regularly, but still want to think. I'm totally lost here.
What? You list a physical mailbox, but let's say that you don't live there or are not there regularly, but still want to see what's being delivered. Okay. Because that's what I kind of think that was happening with that one. I don't want to call it a trailer park. It was like a camper site where you could park a camper for, let's say you're doing seasonal work.
Yep.
Okay. For like 3 months, you take your fifth wheel, you go park it there, and your mail can be sent there, but you have an address that's I'm in Texas. Let's say it's in Colorado, right? So anything that's, God bless you. And I don't know how they track that, but the lady that I spoke to at the office said, I can't even tell you what lot they live in. They use a mail system that's national. It was kind of strange. Traveler's mailbox. Yeah, it was something like that. Right.
You would think that's what grifters would use. I'm not saying she's a grifter, okay? I'm not saying that.
Or
I'm
that
not
anybody
saying
uses that
Please
system as a
don't come
grifter.
for me,
No,
anybody.
it would be very convenient for people who do travel around the country and do seasonal
Right.
work.
Right.
That would be amazing. Or they just traveled. They're retired and they're traveling around the country and they go see their kids in California and then they're going to go to Montana and then they're going to go to Virginia, but they want to be able to get their mail or know what's, delivered. 2 houses, mailing address still at the first house. Okay.
But if that goes to a house where people are living in, why wouldn't you just change your address? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Okay.
I don't know much.
2 tacos and a Chihuahua says, seriously, I'm sick of asking for receipts. There aren't, because there aren't any, I guess. But maybe one or maybe whatever doesn't exist or does exist isn't going to be to our satisfaction, which will piss everyone off. Yeah, I think that I'm reaching the point myself, 2 tacos and a Chihuahua. I love that name. That, if they're not produced, as I think Diane said herself, if you don't show receipts, then they never happened.
Yeah, receipts doesn't exist. I've been told that myself.
Yeah.
So Cooper says, say you're a truck driver and you're expecting a check in the mail, but you're not home. You're on the road. You can go online, usually through your email, to see if it's been delivered. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
We're still having issues with
power and internet.
Kipper, I feel you. Southeast Texas, honey.
My co-host up there is from the great state of Texas. So
we're having a few issues. It's better here now, but
issues. Yeah.
It's been fun though, hasn't it?
Oh, this weather's been crazy. Even California, it's been cold.
We're not equipped for this kind of thing. We're
Good night,
sorely
Corey. Corey's hitting it. In fact, I might. Carla, I mean, thank you so much for letting me come up. If there's anything else I can address, I'm happy to, or I'll come up another time too.
Oh, sure. And I will have you another time. That's all I wanted. I guess I wanted some education for myself about how this can happen to a grown person. And I think I'm pretty intelligent, but
Tell me the name of the triad one more time so that I can do some looking up.
The dog triad.
The dark triad. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys research that. Look up and do some reading.
Yeah.
Stellar, I certainly appreciate your clarity and your calmness and your demeanor and the way that you put things out. I wish there were a lot more people.
Oh, and if you haven't subbed to Stellar's channel, please sub to him.
Yes.
Yeah. I learned a lot from him. I'm telling you, when I went to that one video, that was like getting hit in the face with a brick, because it was, you put it together so point by point.
Stellar, when you get mad, do your clothes rip off and you start turning into the Hulk?
I don't think so.
Brian, after this is all over, Brian, I'm going back to my regular job at what was it called? At the Daily Planet in Metropolis. So.
Oh, you're Superman. You're a lot. You are a hero to a lot of people on here.
Well, I'm actually no hero, but I'm just ordinary. But the real people who made this happen is Corey and Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sure there are probably others as well. That's right.
Corey knows how I feel about her.
I love Corey's voice.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
The bad thing for the Daily Planet is there's no phone booths anywhere.
Can I say this? Do you think that because a lot of people did not like those two, meaning Tiffany Marie and Corey, and I'm sorry if that hurts your feeling, Corey or Tiffany, but that Diane thought nobody would take this seriously?
Yeah.
Kind of be swept away.
Don't judge a book.
You know what I mean?
It didn't work, did it? Nah.
Tiffany is ruthless. So is Corey.
Yeah, good people. Well, hey, thank you again, Carla, and everyone.
Stellar. Thank you for coming on, and I will have you again. I will take you up on your offer and have you up here again. So
thank you, Side Chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for showing up tonight, because I really got a lot out of this tonight.
I did too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Stellar's so cool.
Oh, and then he was gone.
Stellar kind of reminds me of that teacher on Beavis and Butthead. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't ever watch that one.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
I'm sorry. You guys are not the Beavis and Butthead. One of the teachers, one of the real cool teachers there. I'll put a picture of him one time. You guys will be like, that does look like Stellar.
But Zinga, I think they could.
I think he looks younger than 70.
They would have to have subpoenas, I would think, to track an IP address or, probable cause. But I would think
Tiffany.
if it got to that point, they could.
Easily.
Yeah.
Now, Facebook fights people when it comes to.
Thank you, Stellar.
When it comes to subpoenas, Facebook really fights the law enforcement on it, but Google does not.
Right.
Google's like, okay, here you go. Facebook will fight you.
I think YouTube sucks as far as like getting rid of some of the stuff that this grudge of YouTube.
Hounds, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Passed away today.
The
Who?
cat.
Aw.
People love their kittens and their dogs.
Listen, let me tell you.
Love their kittens.
Yeah.
I'm still in mourning. What are you talking about? It hadn't even been a year yet. So, yeah. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
What are you yawning for over there?
Yeah, he's trying to get us sleepy. I just wanted to get a little education from Stellar about certain things, and I think he answered a lot of my questions.
I'm going to do some looking at the dark triad. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, me too. I'm not trying to take anything away from you, Tiffany or Corey, because I think you guys have done a phenomenal job. It's just I needed some questions answered for myself and how a grown woman can get sucked in.
Did Tiffany come in here?
Yeah.
Tiffany's here.
Yeah, she's going back and forth over to Dave's.
Jenny wants to ask me a question. Oh boy.
Who does?
Could you waited? Couldn't you ask me when Stellar was still here?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead and ask me. You can. You may.
Well, anyway.
They are hounds.
Yes.
When
someone asks me if they can ask me a question, I go, what are they going to ask me now?
Bro, you got on a rock and roll shirt or something? What is that, a jersey?
It's just a shirt. It's just a shirt.
Oh, that's cool. It looks like a jersey.
Tiff, I'm sorry.
She's like, whatever, Brian.
We do. We need to have an online party for Tiff and Corey.
Did Stellar get to the root of the problem with Dave debacle? I really don't know about the Dave debacle.
Oh, I don't know.
We just don't pay any attention to Dave. That's basically.
I think he told me
Dave
just not to pay attention to him. So because
he's an idiot.
He lies about several things.
Hey, I'd be disgruntled too if my best friend ran off my wife.
She's want to know, what does your best friend look like, Brian?
Wasn't it his gay? His gay? Wasn't the guy that ran off with her gay?
Well,
we can celebrate when we get to the bottom of this. I hope so. We're gonna have a party.
Tacos. I had a dream.
I just want you and Corey to know that we do support you guys, and this was by no means trying to take anything away from you guys.
No.
Not at all. I'm gonna be supportive of you, but I'm not going to step on.
It's good to see Corey. It's good to see Corey, because she's always a little bit, a lot of times she's down, she's not feeling well, she's mad. But when all this started coming out a little more, you hear a little more giggles out of her, a little more happiness out of her.
Oh, good to see you, Austin.
I think Tiffany has been vindicated. She's been supported, and I think that means a lot when you have the support system that she's got. And she's got a lot of support. So,
did you see Molly do her imitation of Tiffany the other day? She sounded just like her.
No, Science Girl. I'm sorry, Molly does a great impression, but the be all end all was Science Girl.
Oh, with Makeup Monster.
Oh my God!
Molly does a pretty good one too. Oh, Molly, hi. Molly does a pretty good one of Makeup Monster too.
I love you, Molly.
Hey, Molly.
I love you so much.
Molly did Tiffany Marie the other day.
Good night, cameo.
She's been on YouTube all day. She's been on YouTube for all day.
Oh my God.
Molly, come here.
Everybody.
Molly grows on you once you get to know her. I'm telling you, there was a
Molly,
time.
Come here. Molly, come sit by me. Come here. Molly, come here.
Molly Golightly, love you so much. Yeah,
I know you're tired. You do need to go rest. You need to go down.
Well, Molly, the stream that you had in the middle of the night, I don't know what. Oh, your reaction stream.
Oh God.
We were in Discord,
Streaming you in a good way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's a nut.
We were watching and we were laughing. I was laughing so hard. I had a stomach ache. It was
Hey,
so
in my
funny.
defense, I was in there. I was just listening through Discord, but I was in there, and you did get my view. So there you go,
Yes,
girl.
yeah, she did get
I
your
give
view,
you
but
my view, baby.
we wanted to talk about all the faces you were making and
You were
how you were
freaking-
blowing up her phone. It was so funny.
Oh,
They were dying. We were laughing so hard. Oh my God, you were so.
She slept for 15 minutes today, so she's ready for another 12-hour live.
Oh my God.
And that was so sweet for you to send Bomb dinner. That
Yeah,
was very sweet.
I think she was up all night too. I
She
think
was.
Bombshell was up all night too.
Yeah.
So she had a
And your
long
nails
day.
look superb, Molly.
Oh
Beautiful.
my God, yeah,
We're all
we're
jealous.
actually
Yeah,
more jealous of your nails.
yeah. The other
She
day,
looked really pretty too
quite
last
different.
night.
She looked amazing.
She looked gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just that Diane's jealous of you. I don't know. It could be, you know.
I am
Yeah.
Well, we're all jealous of Molly. Yeah.
straight up.
She can get up straight out of the bed. But most women do. I kind of look. I kind of look like the natural look. Molly get up in her pajamas, her hair all messed up. She don't give a damn.
Oh, Molly and I had the best dream one night. We were both drinking wine, and we had our pajamas on, and it was fun. It was fun.
Well,
She-
y'all come around here if you need some loved up on.
She said, "Stop."
Stop.
I'm gonna send Violet a message and tell her to fart on your lap again during live.
Brian, you know what? I can't believe how many watch hours do you need before you can get a monetization?
4,000.
We can do that.
But how many do you have? Like,
Who, me?
how many watch hours do you have to
Oh,
get before you can be monetized?
I have 4,000.
Tiffany, you'll never be able to make
You don't
everyone
have
happy.
near 4,000?
Oh yeah, I got it. I could apply for it. Get it. I'm not worried about it. Look, here's the thing. I've always been monetized. All I gotta do is put my PayPal in the link. So Wendy can just go. Diane, they can just go eat it. All I gotta do is put my PayPal in the link. I've had PayPal for 4 years. I've been monetized. I just don't do that. And Molly's in here. And
Molly called NASA. I was laughing.
I tell you, the reason that again with Molly in here, she was on panel with Laura when they were buddies. And they were going at me because I was going at Molly and I was going at Laura. And they said, "Yeah, you've been on here for 11 years and you're not even monetized." I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "I just haven't turned it on." "No, you haven't. Blah, blah, blah. You videos suck. You haven't been blah, blah, blah." So I turned it on the next day. That's why I even turned it on in the first place, because of Molly and Laura. And she's right here. She vouch for that. She knows that. But we used to go at each other all the time. And
Tacos. Go get me some Whataburger. Now you
What?
said it one too many times. Go get me
I've
some
never
Whataburger.
had a Whataburger, but I've heard that a Whataburger is a very, very good burger.
Girl, I have told you, come on. Your bedroom's ready. Let's go. Come on.
It's nice to see everyone come live to do their part. Yeah, I heard someone in my comments said, "I hope everybody goes live tonight to keep people away from." I guess Diane's going live, but I don't know.
Is it going live?
I don't know. She threatened to.
I don't know. That's what someone said.
Diane,
Everybody should go live to stop people from going in her live. And I'm like, I know let's.
I wonder if Diane's going to drag Wendy, because Wendy said, "I don't like Diane." I wonder if she's going to drag her now.
I don't know.
Play some violins or something, send her flowers, send her refrigerator or something.
I don't know. It seems like every time I go live, I have TNT up on her panel threatening to do something to me.
But here's the thing: we did not do this to block anyone else's lives.
Well, I thought we did. Hang on.
But
No.
we did
No.
because of the timing for both Stellar and Brian to be here.
Yeah,
So,
we asked
in case-
when they could be available.
I was going to
Okay.
take notes. I was a little bit distracted, but I was going to take notes. But I'll go back and listen to Stiller some more. He's a very intelligent individual.
Yeah.
Well, he was on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, so he had to pick a time where he could actually come in. So, and true to his word, he came and he answered a lot of questions for me. I don't know if he answered a lot of questions for you all, but he answered a lot of questions for me. It's so good, Carla. You were missing out. What?
Whataburger.
A Whataburger. Yeah, thanks a
And she
lot.
says it correctly. Did you notice that, Tacos? I've been coaching her. What?
Yeah, so
Burger, not water burger, like we say it.
what a burger.
She's like, they make it out of water?
Don't you worry, Diane and Wendy are friends behind the scenes. We talked about that.
I love you. I love you more. I love you. I love you more. No, you hang up.
I think it's a threesome with those.
Oh, God.
Fod on the sidelines holding up a 9-9 or a 6. No, I love you more. I'm sorry.
Well, just know that you've got a lot of people behind you. A lot of people, here to listen, to help in any way we can. And you're heroes
And you're
in my
doing it
book.
for the right reasons. You're doing it for the children. And I don't care what they say. They say, oh, this is a hate train for Diane. No, it's not. It's a love train for those children that have,
Everybody all of a sudden decided they hated
sick
Diane.
and dying of cancer.
And we all decided,
It's a love train. It's not a hate train.
no. I don't hate Diane. I don't like her really that much
Well,
right now.
those three will be as thick as thieves, D and W and R. I hope you all
Really,
right.
honestly, there's a part of me that feels sorry for all of them. But the reality of it is that's what they get. But you still I wouldn't want to be in her spot right now. You know what I'm saying? Molly said, I'm almost at hate. She said she's one tamale away from hate.
One tamale away.
When she eats a tamale, it makes me want to have one. You ever seen her eat a tamale?
No.
Oh my God. I think she mukbanged once and she ate a tamale.
I went to Trader Joe's and got them because she used to promote them all the time. She's always eating these, just feeding her face with these tamales. And so I went and got them, the pork tamales. And I was like, man, these are good.
I don't hate her either,
Tiffany.
Tiffany says, I appreciate your support. I really do. It means so much. I don't hate Diane. I don't wish her any harm either.
People should stop threatening her.
But
I do want to help the community,
stop.
educate the community to not,
Hey, Sean the Brit.
give their money to people that are not going to do with it what they say they're going to do, how to be better at detecting that and be smarter with our interactions here online, I think is not a bad thing. There's some, okay, I'm going to say it again, every cloud, silver lining. There are some to be had here. There's been friendships that have made that maybe would not have been made. Yeah. There's been friendships repaired. Mm-hmm. And we're always looking at the negative of it. And then, there are a lot of people that didn't really know a lot about St. Jude's that now know, and that will probably donate directly to them, which is the way you should do it.
And again, over the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of people that dug into their pockets feeling sorry for this whole situation.
Right.
I've counted around 5,000. There was the 1,500.
Right.
All these 1,000. There's another 2,500. Didn't you give him 2,500? Somebody gave him 2,500.
Yeah.
So
that was from over on the other was Shoot the Shit.
Yeah.
Pound says we don't want this to move to another platform, another cause being scammed out of monies meant for them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
that's why it's not being swept under the carpet, and it had been swept under the carpet for a couple of years. So, and thank you for Tiffany and Corey for just pressing forward with it.
Yeah.
And yes, I said it, and I expect to be dragged for saying it. So
I have
this what it is.
I just have this knowledge through life that I've seen happen over and over again to all those that did donate, that maybe their money didn't get to where it was supposed to get. Okay. Just know that your heart went with that money, and that there'll be good that comes out of it wherever it lands. Okay. And that there are people out there that will make up the deficit that didn't get to those kids. Okay. That will happen. I believe in miracles. I see them all the time. And I think that's one of them, that when things don't go the way they should have gone, that something good comes out of it. Always.
And there's been a lot of healing going on in this community. A lot of people have come together that weren't necessarily on the same side and coexisting, and so some good came out of it. Hopefully she'll do the right thing. Kind of skeptical at this point,
the right thing,
because it's been so long.
The right thing would be to cam up for that 7,000 if it's all about the
That
kids.
was kind of disappointing, I think.
Yeah,
And then
that's a lot of money.
she used the words. She used the words in that live, and I'm about to curse right now, but she used the words "fucking St. Jude's." I mean, did you guys hear that?
No,
How could she say that?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, I hope somebody clips it somewhere because it's out there. You know,
Misdemeanor is breaking her dishes before they put them.
That is not me.
that's my daughter doing dishes. I'm gonna jump down.
Oh, okay.
She's about to get messy here, clean the kitchen up. So
Thank you, Brian, for taking up for me.
Yes.
Carla.
you know, fine.
No, I always tell her she makes so much noise. I say, "Do you break your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher?
It's like my setup is like
They
right
get cleaner."
and the pipes are working, so we're good. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
I have
Okay,
for
honey.
saying
Thank
it
you,
recorded.
Brian.
Okay, Brian, bye.
Oof.
And with that, I think we're going to, it's been 2 hours.
Good,
Stellar
Tiffany.
was good for his word and came up, and I really appreciate you, Stellar, if you're still in here. I appreciate you coming up and clearing some things up for me and maybe for some people and answering some questions in the side chat. Tiffany, keep doing what you're doing. Corey, you too. And
Prayers
we'll be
for
there.
both of you
We'll be
girls.
there every step of the way with you guys and support you.
Look
So
up
you
the dark
guys,
triad, guys. Look up the dark triad.
yeah, we're going to look up the dark triad and find out
Yep.
what that's all about.
Yep.
But you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon around the
Love y'all.
Tuesdays. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.